Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be painting Cerberus. Here we are. So this is the guard dog to Hades. Again, we have a little bit of mould lines to clear before we start properly. I always like to show this on video because, well, it's part of the process really. These ones I would rather like to keep. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't really want to cut corners with these big ones because, I mean, they're big. You start cutting corners, you see, really far more quickly than you would, or far more obviously than you would with the what you call it, with the smaller minis. But it doesn't take long just to give it a little bit of a scrape here and there where it needs it. Just like so. I can't get at that bit properly because the ear's in the way. Ah, well, never mind. Ah, there we go. So, what are we going to do with this young fella? Well, once we've got rid of all the mould lines and not leaving some of them on the show, and that could have all been filled in before I started, but I don't have. Let's get on with it. Stop making excuses and get on with it. Right, so first off, the main body, Abaddon Black. We need a little bit of this. We do. So we'll pop this on the palette. That's it. We need a fair amount of this. So I'll just pile it on. There we go. I think I might bring out one of the bigger brushes that I've got. What do we have here? We'll use you. Don't think I've used this one very much because I've not had anything big enough to use it with. So number 6, Rosemary and Cold brush. And we'll just slap it on. There we go. This is going to take some time, so I'm going to shut up and allow you to listen to some music while I speed this up a bit. Hopefully that will do the trick. There we are. So, part one of Cerberus is done, which is painting the entire body. It's a big model, it's a big job. Now one thing I'm not doing is doing the flame effect that some people have done on this. I don't like that, to be honest. It's an impressive paint job, but try and get this to be, shall we say, just like a normal dog. That's how I'm painting it. A normal dog, a black one. I've got a black dog, so that's why I'm doing it. I just need to paint the areas that I want black. Dogs have a tendency of having black lips. Right, that's it. Next, let's do the, oh dear lord, what can we do with this? Let's do the straps first off, and for that we're going to use a darkish colour. We've used it before a couple of times, Doombull Brown. Give it a bit of a shake. Pop it on the palette. Probably won't need as much of this as the black, but we won't, because there's not as much of the strappings as there is of the dog itself, but there we are. That's the harness, or as much of the harness I'm going to paint with that done. I'm going to go back into it still, because there are areas I need to touch up with the harness and areas I need to paint, but I can't get in with that brush because it's way too thick. We have these nice little straps around the tail. Don't need doing. There's no way I could have done that with that bigger brush without having to go over all the tail again. but if we choose, you know, right size brush for the job, you know. Painting something big, use a big brush. If you're painting something small, use a smaller brush. Yeah. Okay, so that is all the scrag brown, not scrag brown, the Doombull brown done. I do need now to go back over some areas of the black because I've gone over with the brown, but that's not too difficult a job, especially with a smaller brush, because you can get into to get it done with a smaller brush. And I'm going to try and get into the mouth area and fill in some of that needs to be, or that I think needs to be painted black. I don't want to do that with a bigger brush because I don't want to get it everywhere, even though I can get it now. It seems to have got it everywhere. Ah well. Never mind. It would have been better if I'd have got a blooming spray and sprayed it black to start off with, wouldn't it? Oh well, never mind. I could have gone to Games Workshop and got the Abaddon Black Spray. It's supposed to match the paint pot colour. Also, I believe. There we are. I'm going to go over the eyes now because I wasn't going to do that at first, but I've decided to go a different route with what I'd originally planned. Even though I'm trying to paint this as what I would class as a normal dog colour, rather than going with the flames and glare effect under the skin, I do want to just make sure that it is known that this is not your normal dog. Not that you'd be able to mistake it with having 3 heads, but you know what I mean. I do want to bring out the Hades look for it. And I've just noticed I've missed some on the back leg here. I hope I've got everything now. This model is a pain in the neck to paint. Oh well, it's there. Right, so that's...
Do you mean painting 3 necks?
Yeah, I mean painting 3 necks to paint, yeah. Voice from the gods there. So, which is odd because we painted a devil dog. Oh well. And you saying that his owner's Hades, the god of hell, so yeah. Or the god in charge of the underworld. I'm just painting this brown, just so that it has that backing for the metallic colour I'm putting on later, because I'm not doing this with the Warplock bronze. There we go. So, next colour we're going to be using is corn red. Not much of this is being used. Just apply it to the palettes, and then also the each eye will get covered with corn red. We will come back and highlight the eye a little more, if that might be an idea. Do the whole eye rather than just the ball. So that way when we come to highlight, you'll still have the darker red in the recesses. And hopefully it might give the look of the eye glowing. There we go. Okay, there's a couple of areas that need touching up around the eye now with the black. This is what we're going to be doing most of this video, just going back and forwards. Doing one colour, another colour, and then going back to the first colour again. It can get repetitive, it can get boring, but it's part of the process of painting miniatures, I'm afraid. I keep saying in these videos, painting is a skill of making adjustments. And that's what we're doing over and over again, just making adjustments. I keep stating this in the hope that it will sink in and you will realise this, and it won't stop you from giving it a try. And there's much left to do. Right, so that's that. Next job is the mouth. For that, we're going to use a little bit of the Doombull Brown, a little bit of the Corn Red, mixed together, a spot of the black to darken it down, also make it much more browner rather. And we'll just paint that as we can. Again, anywhere that we get the paint where we don't want it to be, we can come back and adjust it later. There's one. And don't worry if you do actually, in fact it might be better going over the teeth as well with this. So we'll go back to the first head we did and we'll paint over the teeth. Not that there's many on display with this in this head. Bear in mind this is just the base coat, it's not going to be the final colour. So if it does seem a little strange, don't worry. It's not the final colour, it's just a base coat. We are going to be putting up more colours on top of this. So, there's that colour. Now, we'll take some of the Corn Red and just dab it on parts of the tongue. especially if it's outside the mouth. The previous colour was done really just for the it was the base colour for this, but it was done to cover the top of the mouth, the roof of the mouth, and the palate and the soft tissue in the mouth. I didn't want, obviously, I didn't want the tongue to be that colour. Oh, yeah. So that's the majority of it done for base coating. Anyway, well, that's it done for base coating. Now it's just a case of highlighting.